Hey there, let's be honest. Most research tells us what people think, but have you ever wondered how those ideas form and evolve right in the moment? That's where focus group discussions or FGDs come in. In the next few minutes, I will show you how this simple but powerful tool can help you uncover the deeper stories behind people's opinions. Whether you are working in a public health, education, development, or policy, this is something every researcher should master. So, what exactly is an FGD? It's basically a structured conversation with a small group of people, usually 6 to 12, led by a skilled moderator. But here's the magic. The real value comes from how the group interacts. They build on each other's thoughts, challenge assumptions, and surface things you'd never get from a survey or one-on-one interviews. It's not about collecting isolated opinions, it's about watching shared meaning unfold. Now, when should you actually use FGDs? They're great for exploring social norms, cultural beliefs, or community dynamics, especially in places where people communicate more through stories than statistics. If you want to understand how people make sense of health issues, education policies, or community challenges, not just as individuals but as a group, FGDs are your go-to method. FGDs fit into almost any stage of research. Early on, to help define your focus. During a project, to monitor what's happening on the ground. At the end, to evaluate impact or lessons learned. Even long after, to understand how change is taking. They are super versatile, especially in real-world, community-based settings. Designing an FGD isn't about scripting a perfect session. It's about asking the right kind of questions. Create a short guide with open-ended questions around 6 to 12. Keep it simple, clear, and culturally appropriate. Think less about getting answers and more about opening up discussion. Good prompts might sound like, how do people around here usually handle that? Or what do you think makes it easier or harder? When it comes to picking participants, think strategically. You want people who have lived the experience you are exploring, not random volunteers. That's called purposive sampling. You might use natural groups like co-workers or neighbors, expert groups like health workers or teachers. Smaller groups work better when the topic is sensitive or deep. The goal is comfort and trust. Now let's talk about moderation. You are not running a panel or a lecture. You are guiding a conversation. Set a relaxed, respectful tone. Start with an icebreaker or warm-up question. Encourage everyone to speak. Gently balance dominant and quiet voices. Let people talk to each other, not just to you. That's where the good stuff comes out. You don't need fancy tech, but you do need to be prepared. Record the session, obviously with permission. Have a note taker for nonverbal stuff like who laughs, who hesitates, etc. Bring an observer if you want to track group dynamics, and always choose a safe, quiet venue, the kind of place where people feel comfortable opening up. If you want to conduct an effective FGD, here are some tips. Use prompts like, "Can you explain more?" or "What makes you said it?" Introduce brief scenarios or visual aids to prompt discussion. Separate groups for sensitive topics based on gender, age, or social role. Be conscious of who speaks and who doesn't. The goal is to move beyond polite agreement and into authentic, thoughtful exchange. Once the session ends, your job is just beginning. Transcribe the discussion carefully. Start coding. What themes show up? What surprises you? Track how the conversation flowed. Where people aligned, where they pushed back. Write down your own reflections too. That's part of the data. FGDs aren't about counting how many said what. It's about understanding why they said it and how the group shaped that. Here's where you pull it all together. Ask yourself, did the group agree on something? Or was there debate? Did someone change their mind halfway? Were certain voices missing? Remember, what happens between the words, the tone, the timing, the shifts can be just as telling as what is said. Focus group discussions give you more than quotes. They give you context. They show you how people think, feel, and negotiate meaning in real time. If you want to go beyond the numbers, if you want real world insights, FGDs are essential. If you found this helpful, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more hands-on research tools. Thanks for watching. Now go start a conversation that matters.